There's too much BS floating out there, and now it's out of our hands.
Nobody saw it coming. A host who was infamous for keeping her guests out unexpectedly ran across the one person she couldn't keep silent in front of millions of people. As social media exploded and daytime viewers sat up, ABC management scrambled to contain the fallout. The main players? Whoopi Goldberg, a well-known member of The View, and Karoline Leavitt, a little-known conservative. What started as a typical roundtable debate turned into the confrontation that might change daytime television forever. Is The View in danger of a serious crisis, or was Whoopi's error a singular occurrence? The View has served as a venue for years, where harsh comments and heated debates are more common than occasional surprises.
Well, listen. If you don't have anything to say, you blab. You just go on and 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 on.
Voters do not agree with these despicable women on The View. They are wildly out of touch with the vast majority of Americans, and frankly, they should seek immediate help because
the most well-known figure on the show, Whoopi Goldberg, often has the last word, while Sunny Hostin offers legal counsel and Joy Behar delivers jokes. The audience has become accustomed to this dynamic. Liberal views were amplified, conservative guests were questioned, and a live crowd was always ready to cheer incendiary one-liners. Therefore, when Karoline Leavitt joined the table, most people assumed things would proceed as usual. She was less well-known, younger, and openly supported right-wing causes that many panelists find offensive. The segment began informally with a few jokes about modern politicians, a summary of current events, and smiles around the table. That is, until Whoopi steered the discussion toward what she called extreme wokeness. The atmosphere shifted then. Whoopi made a harsh remark, implying that if Karoline weren't woke, she wouldn't even be at their table. This kind of verbal attack has unsettled many conservative voices in the past. Instead of recoiling, Karoline:
I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the channel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
That was so good. That was so good. In a statement afterwards, this young lady claimed her, quote, on-air snub proves that you know who will not be treated fairly in the upcoming debate. Now, do you think this is going to make people doubt whether CNN can stay objective, or is this more the same of, everybody's against me, it's all rigged, I tell you. Is everything rigged?
No, it's their MO. That's what they do. Rachel Maddow said last week, she's like, if the election is lost, it was rigged. If there's a debate, then the moderator
simply refuted Whoopi's claim. In an exhilarating and unexpected moment, the usual power dynamic was inverted. The studio audience, usually quick to applaud Whoopi's remarks, hesitated. Though a few hands clapped, the mood shifted, as if everyone realized something new was happening. To understand why this clash is so significant, you have to realize that The View, or at least it used to, thrived in moments like these. Since its inception, the show has positioned itself as a forum for strong opinions. It has drawn contemporary leaders and A-list celebrities under the guise of free speech. However, open debate often led to the panel's more powerful, louder voices stifling dissenting opinions. It was undoubtedly engaging, and that energy resulted in consistent ratings. But there was controversy. Arguments that took place on air made news for days. Whoopi herself has often been in hot water. The most notable instance was her comments on the Holocaust, which led to her brief suspension. She always recovered due to her reputation as a fearless commentator who says what others won't. Critics argued that the show had turned into a soapbox promoting the host's personal agendas, rather than a venue for rational discussion. But even the harshest critics couldn't resist the drama of a fiery Whoopi speech.
Something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here. Oh, yeah. Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job. Yeah. Because women were not invited to that table. Mm-hmm. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason, because black people couldn't get into college.
Viewers were drawn in by the spectacle, which made The View seem untouchable. At first, Karoline didn't seem like a strong match for Whoopi. She is young, somewhat new to the national spotlight, and represents a political viewpoint that the panel often opposes. This is exactly why her encounter with Whoopi was so compelling. Unlike other conservative guests who were intimidated by crosstalk, Karoline came prepared. She reportedly watched numerous videos of Whoopi engaging with guests who held opposing views. She studied the sarcasm, the dismissive humor, and the sudden shifts in audience applause. Then, she armed herself with data, policy statements, statistics, and direct critiques of government spending. When Whoopi attempted to portray Karoline as someone who owed her platform to wokeness, Karoline remained completely unfazed. She didn't try to deflect or laugh it off. Instead, she meticulously laid out her facts, calling out what she saw as years of misrepresentation by the hosts. This approach was rare for the Views table. Karoline confidently presented argument after argument, and the usual banter ceased, replaced by an intense silence. At one point, everyone at home and in the studio seemed to hold their breath. Would Karoline get flustered or stumble? She didn't. This segment stood out because it featured a remarkably quiet Whoopi. As the controversy surrounding Karoline's appearance escalated, speculation swirled. Could someone replace Whoopi? Was she on a forced break? Or was the entire show about to undergo a significant transformation? To this day, Whoopi Goldberg seems irreplaceable. She has been the anchor and focal point of The View's entire dynamic. However, as this latest controversy unfolded, rumors about her potential departure intensified. Some suggested she would take a short break to let the chaos subside. Others speculated about long-term changes, such as introducing a different lead host or giving other panelists more prominence. Suddenly, the show that prided itself on unfiltered honesty became noticeably cautious. Public statements about seasonal breaks or scheduling adjustments were vague. As always, fans dissected every word for hidden meaning. Meanwhile, longtime critics of the show saw this as an opportunity to take revenge for years of hostility toward your conservative guests. The audience, too, seemed more divided than ever. Some viewers wanted a more balanced approach, arguing that if The View aimed to represent all perspectives, voices like Karoline's should be heard without interruption. Others maintained that the show's foundation was progressive and that giving conservative viewpoints equal footing would undermine its original purpose. ABC faced a tough decision. Not just one talk show, but the entire daytime television industry was impacted by what happened on The View. Daytime talk shows have long, mixed, lighthearted celebrity interviews with occasional sensational, controversial topics. However, in today's social media-driven, polarized society, these programs must walk a fine line. If the show is too mild, viewers lose interest. If it's too controversial, sponsors pull out. The View has often leaned into provocation. Controversy boosts ratings. Audiences tune in to see the sparks fly, but these same clashes risk alienating sponsors and triggering backlash. In an era where brand reputation is everything, networks cannot afford to back a show that trends on Twitter for the wrong reasons. This dilemma extends beyond ABC. Other talk shows have faced similar challenges when hosts cross a line or debates turn personal. However, The View's high-profile nature amplifies its missteps tenfold. ABC's response to this controversy could set a precedent for how far networks will go to protect high-profile personalities who drive ratings. As the furor over Karoline's performance died down, bigger questions arose. Is the format the problem, or would Whoopi's departure be enough to resolve the issue? The show thrives on opinionated debate, but toning it down could make it lose its spark. Meanwhile, calls for more balanced viewpoints grew louder. Karoline's calm, composed demeanor demonstrated that not all guests succumbed to The View's traditional debate style. New audiences, some of whom had previously dismissed the show, were drawn to a discussion that showcased diverse perspectives. Social media trends revealed that some viewers preferred fact-based debates over one-sided browbeating and ratings. For the segment surged, network insiders reportedly discussed potential changes, such as adding a permanent conservative co-host with equal speaking time, introducing live audience polls, and restructuring the format for deeper discussions. Whether these ideas come to fruition remains to be seen. The View is one of the most recognizable brands in daytime television. Ignoring the need for change could be disastrous, but a single misstep could undo years of success. The show has always thrived in moments like these, but can it survive them? So what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you don't want to miss out on the hottest celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to Daily Finder.